Today marks day 6 of my infiltration of the Foundation. Turns out Larry doesn't seem to be on to me so much more as into me. He lurked around my office some more today, making me a little bit nervous, until some of the comments he was saying were less suspicious and more flirtatious. In any case, my anxieties have been calmed, and I'm back with another file for tonight's reading. Item number SCP-693. Object Class Euclid. Special Containment Procedures. The first part seems to be scratched out, and it indicates, as all instances of SCP-693 are considered safe, researchers involved in testing may keep any instance of SCP-693 in their office. The scratches stop there and are followed by these words. After Incident 693A-050, all instances of SCP-693 are to be returned to Regulation Containment Locker 12C-K when not in use. As of Incident 693E, all instances of SCP-693 have been reclassified as Euclid. As such, each instance of SCP-693 is to be contained in a separate steel containment box measuring 25 centimeters by 25 centimeters by 25 centimeters. Each containment box is still to be stored inside Regulation Containment Locker 12C-K. When testing on SCP-693, it is imperative that only hair from the head of the subject be used. At no point should any researcher directly access SCP-693 when it is in an attuned state. All hair should be removed from SCP-693 by the D-Class involved in its testing before it is returned to researchers. Description: SCP-693 is a series of 18-centimeter humanoid dolls, each one made from a single strand of string, with beads of onyx for eyes. Several instances of SCP-693 have varied forms of clothing, from string shirts or pants to cloth headbands and hats. So they're voodoo dolls, I guess. The clothing appears to have no effect on the properties of the doll. New instances of SCP-693 are found with an instruction sheet attached, the contents of which are detailed in Addendum 693A. That doesn't seem too frightful. SCP-693 reacts as a normal string doll until such a time as a piece of hair from the head of a still living human being is placed in a loop of its string, in a process referred to as attunement. For reactions to have hair from a deceased individuals used, please see Addendum 693B. At this point, the doll begins to move of its own volition, portraying the current action of whoever it is attuned to. So like a reverse voodoo doll, I suppose. SCP-693 also projects all statements made by said individual, as if it were them. The doll reliably portrays all actions of speech of the attuned individual for a period of 9 days. After 9 days, the SCP becomes unreliable in both action and speech. Depending on the color of the base string, the doll will seek to drive its current owner in this case referring to whomever placed the hair in the doll, not the attuned individual, to his death. by inaccurately depicting the action of its attuned individual. Colors and actions are as follows. Red seeks to anger its owner into increasingly violent fit of rage. Blue seeks to send its owner into bouts of depression leading to suicide. Yellow encourages its owner to engage in acts of unreciprocated lust. Black encourages its owner into increasingly dangerous situations. As an instance of SCP-693 is successful in causing the death of its owner, a new instance of SCP-693 will be found on the owner's body. The Foundation currently has in containment 7 red instances, 10 blue instances, 5 yellow instances, and 1 black instance. Addendum 693A, transcript of included instructions. These are the instructions that come with the doll. Congratulations on your purchase of a genuine Knotty Stalker. Do you love someone, but they won't give you the time of day? Do you wish you could hear what they say about you behind their back? Well, wonder no more. Using this fantabulous, is that even a word? Using this fantabulous product, you can keep track of your loved one's every move, their every word. All you have to do is get a single hair from the head of the object of your desires, slip it under a new string on our Knotty Stalker, and see what you're missing. Another wonderful product brought to you by the factory. There's a factory. Addendum 693B, concerning the use of hair from a deceased subject. When hair from a deceased subject is used to attune an instance of SCP-693, the doll no longer passively represents actions taken by the attuned. Instead, SCP-693 purports to be the deceased, acting as a guide to the owner. Again, at the 9-day mark, SCP-693 becomes unreliable, attempting to ensure the death of its owner. Incident 693A-050. On redacted, Director G redacted left 2 instances of SCP-693 in his office. Director redacted had recently been the recipient of SCP-050. An hour after leaving his office, the director was summoned back by security due to a smoke alarm being triggered inside his office. Upon entering, the director found SCP-050 on his desk, beside an ashtray, which was found to hold the ashes of both instances of SCP-693. The ashes had been crafted to spell "You're welcome," SIC. As of this incident, instances of SCP-693 are not allowed to be left in researchers' personal space. Incident 693E, on the date of redacted, Junior Researcher West returned an instance of SCP-693 to the proper containment locker. West had failed to properly remove the hair from the doll. When the locker was next opened, all instances of SCP-693 within were gathered around the attuned doll. Said doll had been crucified upside down against the wall of the locker. It is unknown where the SCPs acquired nails. The non-attuned doll crucified one of their own? Doesn't make any sense. Addendum 693C. After leaving a camera inside the containment locker, it appears that instances of SCP-693 become mobile when not directly observed. While no further outbreaks of violence occurred, unattuned instances of SCP-693 have been shown to go through the actions of the last 30 minutes of the life of their most recent owner. At this point, SCP-693 has been reclassified Euclid and will be locked in separate containers inside the containment locker. Incident 693P. On the date of redacted, researcher Cole attempted to have D693-4523 attune SCP-693-R12 using a pubic hair from D693-43. That's an odd choice. The SCP began to move as normal, then stopped. It tilted its head downwards for approximately a minute, then raised it back to look at researcher Cole. SCP-693 is reported to have said, of course, data expunged, at which point a cleanup crew was sent to the testing chamber. Researcher Cole has been reassigned to the medical for psychiatric care, and the 2D class were terminated ahead of schedule. What did the doll say? Multiple requests by several mobile task force have been made to use SCP-693 in conjunction with anomalous object 1115 to allow for increased spying capabilities against persons of interest. Requests are currently in review. I suppose it'd be a good plan for the first 9 days. In any case, this seems to be everything that's written on the file I took for today. Keep listening. Reports will follow.